Good afternoon. My name is Police Officer Pete Walker. I am the Public Information Officer for the Clarkstown Police Department. Thank you very much for coming to this afternoon's press conference. Up on the dais, I have the Town Supervisor of the Town of Clarkstown, Mr. George Holman, Ward Number 2 Representative, Pete Bradley, the Clarkstown Police Chief, Raymond McCullough, Clarkstown Detective Lieutenant, Glenn Dietrich. We have Dr. Mary Jean Marsico, who is the CEO of BOCES, Rockland. We have Dr. Charlene Jordan, who is the District Superintendent of BOCES. And we have Mr. Scott Salato, who is the Public Information Officer for BOCES. I will give you a quick recap of the incidents that transpired today. Then you're going to hear from Dr. Mary Jean Marsico, who will give you the aspect in regards to the school involvement here. And then you'll hear from the Town Supervisor, Mr. George Holman, and then we will open up the floor for questions. At approximately 9 a.m. this morning, at the campus of the Jesse Kaplan School, which is located on the BOCES campus, which is on Parrott Road in West Nyack, we received a 911 phone call from a staff member who stated that there was a firearm that was found on the campus of school grounds. The weapon was found in a in a closet, which was in a classroom. It was in a handbag. At the time that the weapon was found in the closet, the room was not occupied by students. There was only staff members in the classroom. The staff that found the weapon immediately notified the principal of the school. The principal then initiated the lockdown protocol, notifying the Clarkstown School Resource Officer that's assigned on a daily basis on that campus. The school resource officer, as well as other Clarkstown police units, responded to the school. The principal and the SRO were able to secure the firearm and deem it safe. At that point, the determination was made to release the lockdown. At no point was this weapon used in a threatening manner, or at no point was this weapon displayed. The teacher's aide was removed from the school and transported to police headquarters for further investigation. It was determined by our Clarkstown Police Detective Bureau that the teacher's aide does have a valid firearms license in both the state of New York and the state of Pennsylvania. Both of those licenses have been confiscated by the Clarkstown Police Department, and a review will be conducted by a county judge. Based on the Clarkstown Detective Bureau's investigation, Jillian L. Jeffords, 24-year-old female of Warwick, New York, was arrested and processed at police headquarters. Ms. Jeffords was charged with criminal possession of a weapon on school grounds, which is an E-class felony. Based on the Clarkstown Police Department's procedures, she was released on her own recognizance on an appearance ticket. Ms. Jeffords will reappear in court on May 7th, 2018 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. At this point, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Dr. Mary Jean Marsico.
I'm here with Dr. Jordan. We are the executive leadership team at Rockland BOCES. We want to really speak directly to our families and our staff. The Jesse Kaplan School has been in this community for over 60 years, and it's the cornerstone of a little slice of heaven in this county. So the children that attend there are children with significant disabilities. So as you can understand, our phones have been ringing of parent concerns. So to the parents and to our staff, we assure you at no time was anybody in harm's way. We also assure you that the classrooms, most of them, thank God the time of day, were vacant because the buses were in transit. We diverted all the buses to a secure location so we could hold our children away from the building while we were in a lockdown. The staff acted accordingly. We're very proud of our administrative team and their appropriate expeditious response to this situation. We want to thank the Clarkstown Police and particularly our school resource officer for all the work he has done. This particular employee is a teaching assistant in with our agency at the Jesse Kaplan School. And again, to the families, I assure you that each and one of your children are safe. I personally went over to each classroom, as I promised all of you I would do, and I checked on every one of your children, and they all are safe. They'll be boarding the buses and back home shortly. So thank you for your patience with us, and know that we always care so much for your children. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Charlene's going to just say one thing.
Charlene Jordan.
I also want to reiterate our commitment to the families, but also to help everyone in this community understand that we take the safety and security, not just of our students, but also of our staff and everyone in our school community very, very seriously. At this time, we also want to extend a thank you to the Kaplan staff for their professionalism, their dedication, and just the dignified way that they conducted themselves today. We are very appreciative of the work that they all do every single day to keep our children safe, and we thank you.
So good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. I'd like to, at this time, offer my gratitude to the Clarkstown Police Department. And we have a very strong working relationship with all of our school districts, BOCES, and the other 4 districts that are within our town. And what happened today really is emblematic of that strong working relationship and partnership. Proper protocols were followed, and the police department did its job, and thankfully this incident was addressed. I want to thank Dr. Marsico and her leadership team for working with our police department. And again, it is an ongoing investigation, but I want to thank Police Chief McCullough and Detective Lieutenant Dietrich, as well as our school resource officer, who acted appropriately, and all the other officers of the Clarkstown Police Department for all their efforts. Thank you.
We'll open up for questions.
Do we know why she brought the firearm to school? Was she attempting to protect kids? Did she forget the firearm was in her purse as a concealed carry, permit owner?
Detective Lieutenant Dietrich.
Good afternoon. Well, that's part of the investigation that we're looking at right now. As a gun owner, and especially somebody who has a permit for a weapon, you're responsible and you should know what you can and can't do under that weapon. I'm looking at it as, a possible mistake, but that, again, is something that we are trying to investigate a little bit more. She does have a full carry permit in 2 states, as we mentioned before. But again, we got to do a little bit more investigating as far as that goes.
Did you see how many times she's brought the gun to school? Is this the first time, or has she been doing this for a while?
That's part of the investigation that we really can't get into right now.
What type of gun did she have?
It was a 9mm.
It was a black 9mm Ruger.
It's a Ruger. It's
Ruger, you said?
a Ruger.
Ruger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excuse my possible ignorance here. When you have a full carry permit, concealed, I guess, you have to have a special reason, like a cop, you carry money.
Yes.
Why did she get a full?
That's still part of the investigation. Her permit is from Orange County. She's a Warwick resident, and she also has a permit out of the state of Pennsylvania. So again, Steve, we have a lot more work to do on that based on your question.
But am I correct that to get a full carry permit, a concealed permit, you have to have special circumstances? I can't just walk in and get one.
Usually, but again, it depends on the judge that's looking and the sheriff's department that's taking care of that permit.
Does she have a criminal history whatsoever?
I can't comment on that right now.
So, just to clarify, the gun was actually in a purse in a locker. But when was it spotted? Was it spotted by someone earlier before she put it in there, or?
You want to answer that?
It was determined by another staff member. So the staff member was in the closet in which the staff member's jackets and handbags are located in the back of the classroom. At some point, a staff member went in there, and either the handbag fell on the ground or was on the bottom of the closet. It was determined that it looked like a handgun. She or he brought it to the attention of the school administration. It was actually a handgun, and that's what initiated the lockdown.
Dr. Masico, can you tell us what the future of Ms. Jeffords is at Jesse Kaplan School?
Okay.
Scott,
Yeah,
can you
I have a little, Steve, I have a little bit of the background. Sure, Scott Salato, Communications Director at Rockland BOCES. This individual is suspended with pay right now, and I can tell you that she is a recent hire to Rockland BOCES starting in September, so just a couple of months ago. She's not been with BOCES, Rockland BOCES, for very long at all.
Is she still on probation?
I believe that is the case.
No, she's a teacher aide, so their length of time for probationary ended in
In
March.
March, so she's just off probation.
Loaded gun, how many
What's her
bullets
pay, Scott?
carry or so?
I can get that for you. I don't have it right now.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
We understand it's a loaded gun. How many bullets are in there? And a
I'm not aware of the size of the magazine, but I can definitely get you that information. I'll get back to you.
Do we know how many rounds she had in the firearm, or?
Again, I'm not sure of the size of the magazine. Normally would be around 10 that the magazine could handle, and then there may be one additional round that's actually in the chamber, but I'm not sure of the exact number. I'll find that out for you.
She had it fully loaded, so we don't know yet.
It was deemed to be loaded, so there was at least one round in the weapon, and that was in the barrel, which makes the gun obviously capable of being fired without having to be loaded.
How much describe her demeanor once officers arrived and everything?
I'm not really sure about that one.
Was
Her
she
demeanor?
cooperative?
Yes, oh, yeah,
She was cooperative.
yes, without incident, she was taken to the police station and an interview was conducted. So yes, in that respect, there was nothing.
This is perhaps for the teacher's aides, but did anyone ever talk about her discussing having a weapon, any alarming language ever used by her?
To our knowledge, there was nothing alarming that had ever been mentioned about this individual and about her working in the district with students, working in Rockland BOCES, the agency. This was something that was basically happened this morning.
Do you think perhaps, given the debate surrounding gun control right now, just the woman as a teacher's aide, she might have felt like unease with everything that's happening in the country, and that's why she possibly just brought the gun with her?
Well, I don't think anybody up here could speak to her intentions.
Dr. Marcico, did either you or Ms. Jordan just tell us, as an educator and having children as your charges, your personal reaction when you heard that this incident had unfolded, and just be as honest with us as you?
Well, I think there were two reactions, and Dr. Jordan, please join me. One reaction is the population that we're serving there, and it is our most vulnerable population. So it is a population, we're already so scared, because even moving our young people to get them into secured locations is a yeoman's job for our staff. So our first and foremost was, oh my God, this is our most vulnerable population. Even to exit the building was going to be a challenge. In terms of your second part of your question?
Just, well, pretty much like that, just personally.
If I could,
Yeah.
if I could also add, the other piece of this, though, is that you are always worried that no matter how many drills you have, you're not
Right.
prepared. And what I can say, and I think the Clarkstown Police can back us up on this, is that the way the protocols were put into place and the way that the principal and the administrators and the staff secured, went into lockdown and followed the procedures was what we would hope would happen in an incident like that. So we know we still always have to be on guard and always have to continue these drills, but we feel like
We'll
we've
be
made that
debriefing
effort.
on all of that, but even to the fact that our head of transportation knew immediately to turn the buses around, so we were very pleased by that.
Have you calmed down from the shock? Have you both calmed down from your heart still
Yeah.
racing?
Yes.
No, they're still racing.
We have work to do.
Is Ms. Jeffords expected to be kept on staff, or is her position going to be terminated?
Well, there's a hearing that takes place, and but she is suspended with pay, and I don't think anybody up here would mind if I said that we don't want
We're working with our attorney.
working with the attorney on that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the administrator said that there were some buses en route.
Mhm.
What percentage of the students had arrived already? Had the school day started? What was the status of the building at the time this happened?
You want to take that?
Go ahead.
So the buses, because of the fragility of the students, the buses take some time to come in and unload. So the day really starts at about 8:45 with some of the first buses rolling in, but buses come from 6 counties, Bergen, Rockland, Westchester, Orange, Putnam, and Dutchess. So to get all those students in and their aides and assistants, it takes some time. So the school, we don't have a number, but it was not fully occupied. Things had not gone into full gear yet.
It
for the
wasn't
day.
even 50% occupied, it'd be less than that.
Mm-hmm.
My question would be for Officer Walker. There's a lot of people, a lot of our viewers online that are saying, well, she's a licensed concealed gun owner. Why is she in trouble for bringing the gun to school? Can you clarify what the law is in New York State?
Yes, so it's against the law in New York State to possess or carry a firearm on school grounds unless you're a sworn police officer. Do we have any other questions? I just have one statement by Chief McCullough.
Good afternoon, everyone. Chief Raymond McCullough. I'd just like to take the time to thank publicly the women and men of the Clarkstown Police Department, particularly Officer Michael Maloney, who's the school resource officer at BOCES, for their professional and prompt response. I'd also like to thank the staff of BOCES for the ongoing relationship we have with them to ensure the safety of our children. Thank you.
Hopefully I will have a photo to be emailed out within the next half an hour or so.
Can you spell the woman's name, the teacher's age name?
Yes, the defendant's last name is Jeffords, Jeffords. First name Jillian, Gillian, 24 years old, female, Warwick, New York.
And the lieutenant's name, I'm sorry,
Yeah, Dietrich, D-I-E-T-R-I-C-H.
first name, I'm sorry.
Glenn, the two N's.
Thanks very much for coming today.